Welcome to the Homeschool for the Win podcast, the podcast for homeschool families looking for real conversations, practical insights, and a fresh perspective on homeschooling. Hosted by homeschool consultant and homeschool mom Jeanette McBee and Jose Lopez, a college and career readiness coach who works exclusively with homeschool families. In this podcast, we dive into the latest homeschooling trends, educational choices, and ways to help students discover their passions and future paths, all while building a supportive homeschool community. Whether you're just getting started or been homeschooling for years, join us on Homeschool for the Win and be a part of the conversation that informs, encourages, and inspires your homeschool adventure.
Hi there, everyone. This is Jeanette McBee with Homeschool for the Win, and I'm here to talk to you about what we're going to do in June for homeschooling. So it can look a lot of different ways depending upon who you are and what your family's lifestyle is like. So I just wanted to walk you through what your June might look like. So it's the start of the summer season for most of us. Kind of depends on where you are in your process. Are there some things that you've already started doing? Have you just pulled your kiddo out of a building for school, either private or public or charter? You will want to send a letter to the administration, just letting them know that you are pulling them out. Let them know your student's name. You want to have a good relationship on your way out. You don't want it to be fraught with any disagreement or tension. You want this to be a peaceful process that will help you in the long term, especially if you are staying in that school's district. So you'll want to send them a letter, basically a letter of intent. There are examples for that, usually on your state homeschool's website. Here in Iowa, we have Homeschool Iowa, and they are a wonderful resource with lots of different forms and things like that, ideas to help you know how to do those formal things. Some states have organizations based on region. And so you just want to take a look at that and see what your homeschool situation looks like within your state. Let's see. So there's pulling them out of school. There's also, say your oldest is 5 years old and you're thinking about homeschooling in the fall. So usually when they're that young, you can base so many things off of play. So it's just very intentional play and, reading books aloud and things like that. So usually if you're just going to start in the fall, it's not a huge process starting in June. I know it may feel that way. I remember when I started looking at homeschooling both of my kids, well, it was just one at the time, it was pretty daunting because I was public schooled and didn't quite know what direction I was supposed to go. And of course, you're always kind of nervous. Am I going to screw them up? And I'm here to say, no, you're not. Everything will work out just fine. Let's see. So usually you want to start with some read alouds, get some ideas for play. A lot of times those ideas are free. You can just Google or feel free to use ChatGPT, whatever you're most comfortable with, and you can get a lot of free ideas and a lot of times use the things that you already have at home. Let's see. So that would be for just starting out. A lot of times I tell people that it's easier to start looking for curriculum in March. So say you have first grader and up, I would really start looking for curriculum in March. That means just start researching what direction you want to go. And if you haven't done that yet, that's totally fine. It really is. The only reason I suggest starting in March is that by the time June rolls around, May and June, when all those homeschool conferences are going on. We just had ours in Iowa. We had our Homeschool Iowa conference, which was fabulous. And if you were there, hi. Let's see. So by the time you get to the conference, you will have an idea of what you actually want to spend your money on instead of just throwing it every which way, because you really don't want to have buyer's remorse when you come back. Ask me how I know. So at any rate, you can be looking at your conferences for finding curriculum. A lot of times they'll have sales, free shipping codes that they'll let you use. Another way is to get on the website Homeschool Classifieds, and that's just parents selling curriculum. I've never had an experience go sideways on there. So for the most part, I can't say it's 100% guaranteed, but for the most part, using them has been a great experience, and we're all just homeschoolers helping each other out anyway. If I need books right away, I'll use Amazon, but they're not my first choice because they're usually not as cheap as the manufacturer's price, and sometimes more expensive. A lot of times, if I'm not familiar with a publisher, I will find out what their price is, and then I'll try to find it cheaper someplace else. So I'll go to Rainbow Resource, which I call the Walmart of what do I call it? The Walmart of curriculum. So it's a warehouse that has curriculum from all over. I mean, they have Matthew C. They have My Father's World. They have Knotgrass. They have, books for classical conversations. They have all of that. And if it's not at the publisher's price, then it's lower. And so I remember the first few years just getting these huge boxes of Rainbow Resource boxes. They're just really large. So kids love playing in those. So those are the places that I look for curriculum at. I do have a spreadsheet on my Facebook page that is Homeschool Help with Jeanette on Facebook, and I have a spreadsheet that I can give you to download so that you can keep track of your curriculum on there. So just let me know. You can contact me by DMing me on my Facebook page or through whatever platform you're listening. And then let's see, something else that they usually have going on that publishers and people have going on during the summer months are sales. So I know My Father's World usually has, I think right now they have a 15% off sale on an entire curriculum package. So if you want to just buy the whole thing, it'll be 15% off, which is a good chunk. All About Press, which does all about spelling and all about reading. They usually start their sales in the spring. I see that with Demi Learning that does Matthew C. So I hope that this information will help get you on the right path. If you have any other questions about curriculum, what you want to use, you can look at Kathy Duffy reviews. That's what I used a lot. Or you can contact me personally, and I'd love to help you out with that. Next, so we've done the curriculum search. You're starting to get that ready. I would suggest trying to wrap that up. If you take your summers off, I would suggest wrapping that up like within a month. Have your books. You don't want to string it out all summer. You really don't. Because then it's always on your mind. It's always on the back burner. You're thinking about it all the time. Let me tell you, I've done it both ways. I've done it where I've strung it out all summer and thought it'll be okay. Well, you know what I found happens unless you're super on top of it. Sometimes that's hard with young kids, is that I'll get to August when we're about to unwrap everything and, oh, kids, you get to look at your books for the first time, and I'm missing something. I don't want to be missing something that first day of school. So, and then, waiting a week or however long it takes to get that one book. And of course, that one book is the one that I'm really going to need that first day of class. So I'm just telling you from experience, you want to have it done within about a month. It's done. It's over. If you do happen to forget something, usually you'll figure it out by the end of that month. So say the end of June or the end of July, however, wherever you feel like you can do it, you can get that done. You can go to the end of that and be like, oh, I'm missing something now. And now you have time before your first day of school. Another good thing that you can start doing in June is to make your calendar for the coming school year. I totally geek out on this. So I make a calendar for the coming school year that has all of the months. They're small. And all I need is just the boxes with the numbers. So a calendar for each month. And then I block out. So my kids are pretty active in our homeschool community. Whatever works for you guys, do it. But I would say whatever your family does that you are committed to, like we have a homeschool choir that we are committed to. We are going to be there every Friday that they have rehearsal, Lord willing. So I block that out on the calendar. I color it a different color than everything else. We normally don't do school on the weekends, so that's not part of how many days I count. And if you're in Iowa, this is state law again. If you're in Iowa and you've chosen one of the homeschool choices that you need to keep track of how many days you're schooling, then this is how you do that. Same goes for Colorado. When I was homeschooling there, I believe at the time it was 100. I had to have 172, 173 days of homeschooling. I may be slightly off on that number, but I needed to have that many days of homeschooling, and so that's how I kept track. Now that I'm in Iowa and doing IPI, I don't have to have a certain amount of days that I'm homeschooling, but I'll tell you what, it's really nice to be able to do that. So what you do is you start out with the curriculum that you're using, know how many days or weeks that curriculum lasts, and then you can map it out on that school year calendar. So, okay, we usually start at the end of August. And I know it's before Labor Day, but that's just what we found works for us. So we start like at the end of August, and then I count out how many weeks. For us, it's usually 36, 37. And then I can also map out like where our breaks are going to be. We usually take a good chunk for winter break, for Christmas and New Year's, and just chill. That's really nice. We do take a week off for spring break. If you are schooling year round, it's really nice. Again, it's really great to have that calendar. If you're doing, you could do 4 weeks on, 1 week off. You can do 6 weeks on, 2 weeks off. Any kind of cadence that works for you. Sometimes I know we did that for a little bit. We did it for 2 years. We schooled year round, and it took a little bit of work to see what would really work for our family. At any rate, so that school year calendar is so very, very helpful for the rest of the year. And it helps your students know. We just put it up on the wall. We just tape that thing on the wall. And it's nothing fancy. And then the kids are able to see, oh, we're taking our break here. Oh, we have, some days we would, when they were little especially, we would take their birthday off. We don't normally do snow days, but we'll take the day off for their birthday. And then, they also can see when certain holidays are. That's also helpful. So I would suggest doing that in June, getting that calendar all done. If you are doing any kind of long break during the school year, like this month through August, I would highly suggest a bucket list. You've probably seen them all over already, but they really are helpful. Even if you don't get to everything, please don't stress out about getting everything on that bucket list. Let me tell you what, if you do half of the things on that bucket list, it's going to be a great summer. Your kids are going to look back and be like, hey, we did that. Oh, and we didn't get to everything. That's great. We'll just add it on to next summer. There's so many things that you're able to do. Be creative. Get outside. That's what they need. They need the fresh air. Even if they're not feeling 100%, get them outside in the fresh air. It will help tenfold. So that's what I have for June. If you like this series of what to do each month that you're homeschooling, please let me know in the comments. So we hope that you enjoyed this one, and happy homeschooling.